Hey guys, it's me Jazz. I know that I've been promising this video for quite some time, but I know this sounds cliche, but as we know, I have a newborn, so it's been kind of hard to make the videos like I would like to, but I'm going to jump right in and try to make this quick because I finally got Bella to sleep. I have my baby monitor. I'm listening for her to cut up so I can go in there, get her, and then I'll have to stop the video. But let's hope that I get through this. Alright, breastfeeding. First, I'm going to start off by telling you guys my experience with it, and then I'm gonna give you guys some tips that's worked for me so far. Okay, first of all, my goal when I kind of was in between like breastfeeding and doing Similac. I was not really sure what I wanted to do. I knew for sure that I really wanted to breastfeed, but I wasn't confident, I guess is what I'm trying to say, in doing it. But in my heart, that's what I wanted to do. And I talked to other moms and different things like that and got their opinions, their advice, blah, 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 blah. And then finally I said within myself, I'm going to at least try it. I'm going to at least try it and see if it's something that I like and if it's something that me and Bella can do together. Alright, so one of the key things is when I had her, to make sure that I didn't have them immediately wash her up, take her up to the nursery. It was important for us to make sure that we did the skin-to-skin contact and that we bonded. So when Bella was born, first they were saying that they might not be able to do the skin-to-skin contact because she had pooped, so they thought that she was going to have meconium in her lungs. She ended up not having meconium in her lungs. She came out screaming, so they put her right on me. After they put her right on me, they took her to the weigh table and gave her a vitamin K shot and everything like that, but they didn't wash her up. They wrapped her up, they put her on me, and I immediately began the skin-to-skin contact again and the breastfeeding. So if you haven't had your baby yet, that's something that you probably definitely want to ask, so that way the transition from the baby coming out to feeding is a little bit easier if you plan to breastfeed. Once she came out, they showed me how to position her, which they had me, hold her like in the cradle a little bit, and just like take my nipple and hold it like a C, like this. Okay, hold it like a C, and then that way you can help her locate the nipple and she could suck on it. Now babies are born with a natural sucking mechanism, so it's not like it'd be hard for them. Some babies are not able to do it. Some people are not able to breastfeed for whatever reason. I wish everybody could, but if you can't, it doesn't make you a bad mom. And Similac doesn't mean that it's just the most terrible thing for your baby. Some people just cannot breastfeed and it just is inconvenient for them. The baby won't do it, and some people just don't have the time to sit up there and wait for the baby to try to latch on, and they want to make sure their baby eats, because that's what's most important at the end of the day. Okay, now she immediately latched on. I didn't have no problem. She latched on and it was all good. Okay, now when I got into my hospital room, one of the things they did on her little crib or bassinet she was in, they labeled her bassinet to say she was a breastfed baby, so if she needed to go into the nursery, they would not give her a bottle, because that can mess up the whole process. So they labeled her crib thing that she was a breastfed baby only, and then the RNs, they were on me, like on me. It was only to the point where they made me feel like I wasn't trying to feed her, which was not true. She just was sleeping all the time and I didn't want to wake her, but they was like, you gotta wake her, you gotta feed her. So me and Bella went through this thing where she would snack, which means she would not eat the period of time in which she's supposed to eat. The babies are supposed to eat every 10 to 20, not every 10, they're supposed to eat for 10 to 20 minutes or longer if they want, but it needs to be at least 10 to 20 minutes to be considered a full feeding. And the baby needs to eat every 2 to 3 hours. When me and Bella was starting, we were both just learning. The baby, when you start, they don't really know. They know how to suck and stuff, but they don't know the whole process of breastfeeding. Okay, they have to learn it just like you have to learn it. So when we started, Bella would eat maybe for like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, then maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 or longer, every few hours, and then every hour. It was just real sporadic. Okay, now your breast is going to be on a supply and demand. So if you're on a supply and demand and it's sporadic, that's going to begin to cause engorgement, which happened to me. You guys are probably wanting to know, what is engorgement? Well, let me tell you about it. While I'm looking this up, I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at. This is a book that the hospital gave me. It's a breastfeeding guide. It's the best thing that they could have ever gave me, because this is what's helped me with being able to breastfeed Bella successfully. Okay. Okay. Engorgement basically is the swelling of the breast tissue, and it can actually happen 2 to 5 days after birth. It's caused by increased blood flow to the breast, swelling of the surrounding tissues, and increased milk production. They'll feel heavy, warm, hard, and uncomfortable. Okay. Now, mothers who nurse at least every 2 to 3 hours or less, or every 2 to 3 hours, are less likely to become engorged. Now, I wasn't doing it every 2 to 3 hours. It was like every hour, every 2 hours, every 4. It was like really, it was really inconsistent or whatever, and that's what caused it. The only way to try to reduce it or get rid or to treat the engorgement is to use a cold compress, like ice packs, for 10 to 20 minutes before and after, but you should not stop breastfeeding, okay? And you still need to try to breastfeed every 2 to 3 hours around the clock, okay? And that's basically what happened to me. I got engorged because it was not consistent at all, and they know that, okay? The hospitals know that. But anyways, so eventually what I had to do, guys, when I got home, because the same thing that happened in the hospital was happening when we got home, the inconsistency, that it made my engorgement worse. Also, what the lactation consultant told me is that engorgement can happen anyway when you leave from the hospital because your hormones are changing. So that can happen as well, and it happens at least by the 5th day. Your boobs are going to feel really heavy and hard, and that's how my boobs felt. Now, after that, my boobs went back soft, and then I thought something was wrong. And they was like, no, that's okay. That doesn't mean you don't have any milk, which you do. But that's basically what happened. Now, we didn't get on a consistent schedule probably until maybe that 2nd week. Bella then began to do every 2 to 3 hours. By the 3rd week, it was every 2 to 3 hours, and then which we're in now is the 3rd week going into the 4th. It's now every 2 to 3 hours during the day, and then at night it's every 4 hours. So for instance, I get Bella ready at 7 o'clock. She sleep by, I give her little bath, you know, she's knocked out, using nighttime Johnson stuff. It was great stuff, by the way. She's out by 9 o'clock, knocked out sleep. She won't wake up again until 1. 9, 10, 11, 12, that's 4 hours later, okay? Then I'll feed her. She eats usually for 10 minutes each time. She has not gone past 10 minutes yet, except for when we was in the hospital. But she eats 10 minutes. And then she'll wake up again at 5 o'clock. And then she'll sleep for 2 hours. And then go to that 2 to 3 hour thing again. You see what I'm saying? So my breasts are on a schedule where it knows when to create that milk and produce it, okay? So that's where we currently are right now. I only had the engorgement happen one time. I can feel when my breasts are heavy, so I know when it's time for her to eat. It's just like my breasts are a clock, so I know, like, okay, it's time for her to eat now, because this left boob is heavy. Now, you do want to try to feed your baby at least every 2 to 3 hours and do 10 to 20 minutes on each boob. And another thing I messed up on is I thought when they said 10 minutes or whatever that meant do 5 here and 5 there, which was wrong. Just do 10 minutes on one, and then when it's time to feed her, whatever hour that you're supposed to feed her, do this one. And that totally helped me with reducing engorgement. Oh my God, when I did that, that helped. But when I was doing this little 5-minute here and there, because I would forget which boob I started off on, I would get engorged, and the next thing you know, I have one big boob and one small boob. That's not cute at all. So make sure what I'm basically trying to tell you guys is to get a consistent schedule. When you can, try your best to get a consistent schedule. If you are in pain or anything like that, please do not stop breastfeeding. You still need to breastfeed as much as you can. Continue to do that so you can still make your supply. If you do get engorged, you could do what I did, which was recommended by the lactation consultant in this book, was to put ice packs on it. I had to put some frozen vegetables in a plastic bag on my boobs, and then pump out the milk. I'm going to show you guys the breast pump that I have. Okay, so pump out whatever engorgement that you have and store it or use it later, and that's what I did. Okay, and that helped, and I kept feeding her, and eventually we finally got us on a consistent schedule, thank the Lord. Okay, now during the first 1 to 2 weeks, your milk is not going to be milk. It's going to be colostrum, and it's going to be yellow. When I pumped out that engorged milk, it looked like yellow milk. And they also call it liquid gold because it has a lot of nutrients and a lot of it has your immune system in it. So that's really healthy for the baby to have, and that's part of the reason why they suggest you breastfeeding as well. But it's gonna look like that. It's not cute, and you're gonna be like, ill. But my milk didn't come in until the 3rd week. Now they'll say if the baby is not gaining any kind of weight or anything like that, then you might need to go ahead and put the baby on Similac. But Bella was gaining weight. When she left the hospital, when she was born, she was 6 pounds 15 ounces. When we left the hospital, she was 6 pounds 13 ounces. And they said that's normal. The baby will lose a little bit of weight. When we went to her first appointment, she gained her weight back. And then on her appointment where, you know, I had the visit come to my house, the lady come to my house for the at-home visit, she was 7 pounds 1 ounces. And today at Bella's doctor's appointment that she went to, which I'll go into more detail in the next video about how that went, she was 9 pounds 1 ounce. So that makes me feel confident to know that I am successfully breastfeeding her and that she is getting all the food she needs. Also, another thing you need to look out for is how many wet and dirty diapers you have. The baby should have at least 8 to 12 dirty diapers along with 8 to 12 feedings. You understand? So everything should run in consistency with each other. That's in this book. Another thing that I would recommend you doing too to help you keep track of which boob you left off on, how long the baby's eating, is to track it. This is what I had. It's a breastfeeding tracker, and it tells you, it says the feeding time, the minutes at the breast, how many diaper changes, were they wet diapers or dirty diapers, and how many feedings did you do. So this definitely helped me with understanding, okay, is Bella getting enough? Am I doing the right thing? Another thing that you guys will notice with the baby is you'll notice with the baby is their poop is going to be a little different than a baby who is formula fed. What you're going to notice first is the baby is going to go from having black poop, which is the meconium, to like, it was like a dark brown poop to like green, and then it became like yellow. Her poop is yellow and seedy, and this water is not thick at all. Now when I start getting her on solids, then it's going to be thicker and stinkier. And then also her poop doesn't really smell bad. Like, it's not a grown person poop. It's like a faint smell, but it's not terrible. But it stinks, but it ain't like, ooh, you know what I mean? Also, another thing is with breastfed babies, the poop runs through them faster. So it's like after she eats, maybe like 30 minutes later, her diaper needs, maybe less than that, her diaper needs to be changed. Okay. Let me see what else I can tell you, because I do not want to hold you guys up. Oh, also with the breast pumps, like I said, I showed you guys my breast pump. I have used it that one time for the engorgement, and I also used it because I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter, but I needed to get my hair done and I needed just some time to myself. So I did pump, but most of your milk will come in during the morning because you usually have a longer stretch of the baby sleeping, so you have more milk producing. So if you need to pump when you guys start going back to work, you'll want to try to get that first morning milk in so you can pump that out. And that's what I did. I did pump that out and it worked perfectly. I don't see anything wrong with the pump that I used. I think it worked just as good as a Medela pump. It's electric and it works great. So you just have to kind of find what works best for you. It was only $60. My mom paid for it and she brought it over, and that was that. Tips: get a good pump that you feel works best for you. Get a great support bra. You need a bra that's going to hold your boobies up and be tight. Not like tight to the point you can't breathe, but you need just a really good support bra. Another thing you're going to need are breast pads, because you will leak. This is what I use, these nursing pads. These are awesome. This keeps you from being embarrassed in public with a light colored shirt on. Also, I use this stuff here. This is nipple cream, and this helps. Bella only had one time where she latched on wrong, and that stuff hurted. And I was like, ouch! That stuff hurted so bad. But I haven't experienced any bleeding, thank God. I hope I don't. Or any like severely cracked boobs. But I have experienced soreness, because if your boobs are getting sucked on every 5 minutes or every couple hours, it is going to get a little sore. And this stuff helps so much, and it doesn't harm the baby because it's a natural product, and it's really, really good. So I really recommend you guys getting this if you can. You're going to need a lot of diapers because these babies run through some diapers with this breastfeeding stuff. Also, you're going to need a good pacifier too, because these babies, if you are going to use a pacifier and your baby hasn't latched on good, but you're still trying, they don't want you to use a pacifier for at least about, I think they said, 2 months, or until the baby is good. And Bella is good on her pacifier, but she cannot use regular pacifiers. She has to use the Nook pacifiers because the pacifier part is it has like the same shape as a nipple when she's breastfeeding. So that's why we use the Nook version. Also, for her bottle, remember I was telling you guys I needed to go out and get my hair done and stuff, we used a bottle that will also mimic her breastfeeding, and the bottle that we decided to use was by hold on, I got it, let me go get it real quick. It's by Playtex. See, now these are the ones that we use. It helps without causing nipple confusion. These are really good bottles, and it works. If you are breastfeeding and you pump milk, the milk can last between 2 to 5 days if you're going to refrigerate it. If you're going to freeze it for the mommies going back to work, it can last 3 to 6 months, okay? If you need to heat up your milk, do not put it in the microwave, as that will kill the nutrients from your breast milk. You need to boil some hot water or get some hot water and put the bottle inside of it to warm it up that way, so you don't kill the nutrients in there. Okay, so that's it. A lot of people ask me how long do I plan to breastfeed her. I really would like to breastfeed Bella until she's about 1, but if I can't, then then it's not gonna work. But till she's 1 or maybe like 11 months, and then switch her over to cow's milk, and hopefully I can give her organic milk. But I'm going to ask her pediatrician about that first. So alright guys, that's it. If you have any questions or anything that you feel that I missed in this video, feel free to comment, add it in. Whatever you would like to do is cool with me. I'm not tripping. Follow me on Twitter, sugarhoneyiced7, and I will put that on here as well. And I guess that's about it. Yeah, any questions, put them in the comments, send me a personal message, whatever. I kind of just wanted to give you guys a briefing on how I've been doing with it. So that's basically it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I hope that this helped somebody out there a little bit, and it's encouraged you guys to stay on the course. Alright, love you guys. I really, really, truly do. See y'all next video, which will be this Sunday. Bye.